The place command is a highly practical one. You can use place to get your pup out from underfoot while you're preparing food or working at your desk, for example. If you have a dog who charges the door when people come over, place is an excellent alternative behavior. The place command can also aid in reducing or eliminating separation anxiety, as it teaches your dog that it's okay to stay where they are, away from you. You can either use a general place command that means go sit on this thing I'm pointing at, or you can teach different cue words for different places, such as kennel up versus go to your bed. We even use the place command to get our dogs onto the scale at the vet's office. The first major component of training the place command is teaching your dog to go to the place, eventually without the food lures and all that coaching, and eventually from 3 feet, 10 feet, or even across the house. The second component of training the place command is getting your dog to stay on the place for any length of time. That's the impulse control part. Here's how to get started. First, begin by choosing your dog's place. This could be their kennel, their dog bed, a raised platform, a mat on the floor, anything that your pup can target with their body and sit and lie down comfortably on or in. Next, have some treats or other rewards ready, and your clicker if you use one. You'll use the treats to guide your dog onto their place, and your clicker and your voice to praise your dog for their work. You may choose to leash your dog for this activity. In that case, keep your treats in one hand and your leash and clicker in the other hand. When training any new behavior or action, first show your dog what you want him or her to do and provide lots of positive feedback as they make progress toward the behavior. Usually this is done by using a food lure or by using gestures and body language to give your pup clues as to what you want them to do. As soon as your dog steps onto their place, begin providing positive feedback in the form of verbal praise or clicks from your clicker to encourage and motivate them. Give your dog the treat reward once his or her entire body is on their place. Here's what that looks like. Put a treat right in front of your dog's nose. Now that you've got his attention, use the treat to guide your pooch onto his place. Don't move the treat away from your dog's nose too rapidly, or he may not understand that he needs to follow it. It's also helpful to use your body language and walk with your dog up to the place. Begin to give your dog positive feedback right away. The moment your pup begins to place his first paw up onto that place, begin to click and praise. Continue to give positive feedback as your dog completes the action. Good job, keep going, you're almost there. Release the treat into your dog's mouth as soon as he's got his whole body on the place. He doesn't get the actual food reward until he completes the action. Remember, the first step in training place is teaching your dog to go to the place on their own ahead of you without being lured or coached. So continue to practice this process until your pup is pretty proficient and is readily following the food lure onto the place. Once your dog is reliably following the food lure and completing the action, in other words, once they're beginning to understand what to do, you may begin to introduce the verbal cue, such as place, kennel up, or go to your spot. In this way, you are giving the action a name, and your dog is now learning to associate the verbal command word with the action. Repeat this 5 or 10 or 20 times, giving your pup the verbal command as you lure them onto the place. Then, see what happens when you eliminate the food lure. Can your pup guess what to do when they're given only the verbal command without any visual cues? The next major component of training the place command is getting your dog to stay on the place for any length of time. Impulse control training can be a real challenge for puppies and certain high-energy dogs, but even so, we want pups to experience success right away. When introducing the concept of sitting still and staying put on place, it's helpful to keep a few things in mind. First, provide plenty of frequent positive reinforcement. This can come in the form of verbal praise, clicks from the clicker, physical affection, or food rewards, or any combination of these. Also, provide timely negative feedback as necessary. This might come in the form of a word like no, or a sound like
No,
or
please.
perhaps a tightening of the leash as your
Good,
pooch
good
attempts
job.
to leave their place before you have released them. Dogs need to know when they've given you the wrong response too. Now, make sure that the amount of positive feedback your dog receives greatly outnumbers the amount of negative feedback they receive. This may mean that you'll need to change the way you're training in order for your dog to experience a success rate of about 75% or better. If your pup is hearing more no from you than yes, you'll want to find a way to make the training exercise less challenging for your dog. Success tends to beget success. When dogs experience success, it motivates them to continue to strive for more success. So, while providing timely negative feedback is an important part of successful dog training, making sure an overall positive experience for your pooch will cause your dog to enjoy doing the things you want them to do. To get your dog to stay on the place, first get him up there and get him into a stationary position, such as sit or down. Stick close by for now and provide plenty of positive reinforcement for the duration of time that your pup remains in position. If he breaks position before you're ready, provide timely negative feedback as needed, such as a verbal no or a sound like or perhaps a tightening of the leash. Then get him back into position and resume with the positive feedback again. When you're ready, release your pup from their place and give them a little break. Then try again. Do this in short spurts at first, with your dog staying on place for 30 to 60 seconds at a time, and gradually work your way up to longer durations of time. As you and your dog become proficient at this level, you should find that you're able to get away with less frequent food rewards. Many dog owners are eager to get to the part where they don't feel like they're constantly sticking food in their pup's mouth, but keep in mind that you'll still need to give feedback. Continue to give plenty of verbal praise and clicks if you use the clicker as you wean off of frequent food rewards. In time, you'll be able to build upon this basic activity and incorporate the place command in practical ways in your everyday life with your dog. You can make this and any training exercise more challenging by adding duration, distance, and distractions to your training scenarios. More on this in another video. See the video description for more information about establishing impulse control. Subscribe and be notified when we create new content. Thanks for watching.